Morning traders. So how do we trade the DAX today? So I have left all my lines in from yesterday, just to pretty much highlight my train of thought here. Now, nothing really happened yesterday. We had a bit of an indecision. Well, not a bit, a massive indecision day. So, we're still in this wedge, okay, or megaphone, falling megaphone formation. So we're definitely still in it. I'd like to see a bit of a pullback. I suppose we could have got in long on this, pull back on to retest this level here, but I didn't quite hit those areas. So if we just drill down to 4 hour, we'll see what I mean. So there was a level, and we kind of tagged it. We didn't pop below it, but there's nothing really that excited me about that for an entry long. So in hindsight, it probably should have been taken. But anyway, be that as it may, I didn't quite take it. So we'll have to look for something different. So I just want to tidy this up quickly. So let me just get rid of all these. Okay. And then let's just get down to the hour. That's the one we want to play with. Right. So you can see lots of tails, backwards and forth, playing with the 200 moving average here, and then flat alligator. Nothing really to write home about. So what we do have though is pretty much a break and a retest of a wedge. Okay, so I think the key to today is to see, what happens with what happens with Brexit, what happens with Trump, and those are the things that are going to be driving this market at the moment. And the other thing that you'll need to take a lot of, you need to pay attention to this 200 moving average here on the weekly. Okay, so if we just come back to the hour, and you can see that's the 200 moving average on the weekly. That's why your sellers stepped in. They sold off, but the buyers are here. They still are buying. The sellers are still trying to push it down. The buyers are here. So that is your level that you're looking for a proper break, and not this opening pin bar that we had yesterday. And I think if you look on like a 5-minute chart, you'll see it was 5 minutes up, and then next couple of 5-minute candles down. So this is when this happens into a weekly level like this, bet your bottom dollar that's exhaustion. Always happens. Okay, so I'm still looking at longs. It's just that this mess here doesn't really excite me to get longs. And the awesome oscillator is still so flat. I mean, there's nothing happening here. And this just really indicates that there's nobody really committing to the market. That's all they're telling you. So, if I compare the DAX to the Dow, the Dow's probably my preferred trade for this week at the moment. And the DAX, I'd rather just leave it alone for now. It keeps doing the same thing. I mean, the open is always violent, and then it tapers off. And then here again, you can see how violent the first couple of hours of trading was. And then we tapered off. So there's nothing really happening that excites me here. And if I look at the futures market at the moment, 11,329. So we're kind of right where we closed. So there's nothing really happening on this market for me at the moment. So I'm not really interested in trading it at the moment. But what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at the Ichi, because the Ichi may give us a little bit of a different picture. But at this stage, this weekly level is critical, and there's still a battle royal happening here. And bear in mind that the bears are still trying to trade this head and shoulders down. Okay, so this shoulder, head, shoulder, they're still trying to trade this. But what is happening, we've got this inside bar 2 weeks down, and now it looks like we're forming an inside bar. And you can see how the buyers were stepped in at the bottom here. So I'm still very reluctant to be short at this level. I'd want to see us come back up to test this neckline, or even come up and test that swing low there, and then give us a bearish pattern, and then I'd play a short. So for me at this moment, it's keep my money in my pocket and wait to see what transpires here. I don't see a swing trade set up yet. It may be brewing here, but there's nothing that I'm really excited about right now. The only positive thing that I can say is that we have broken this fractal level above the red line, the teeth. Okay, so that should have been a long entry. We've come back to test this break, but your stop should be below this fractal level here. And then after the open today, you would be able to move your stop up to entry. So that's the only problem with this thing. It's so volatile. It's all over the place. So yeah, so I think for me today, Dax, not busy, not going to trade it. I'll wait to see what happens. If we can get some half decent price action at the open and stay above the alligator, it may be worth. Sorry, let's just get a line here. So what I'm looking for is a 30-minute close above 11331. That would give me a long entry, and sort of what I'd want is an entry up there and a stop. Sort of, I'd be safe. Put an 80-point stop in here. So move your stop to here, 11,260. So I just want to keep my stop below this 200 moving average here. Okay. So let's have a look at the ichimoku quickly, because that will give us a little bit more information. Okay, we'll work our way forward. So from the half-hour perspective, we've had a bearish crossover, and we're below price, and we've had a twist in price. So those are bearish signals that price is coming down. On the hour, same thing. Okay, so we've had a bearish crossover here. So that's not really a good signal at the moment. So that is telling you that more than likely going to come down. Now the logic here would be, looking at ichimoku, is I'd want to see a pullback. Let's rather do this back to the cloud. So I'd like to see price come back to the cloud here. Okay, because it's broken through the cloud, I'd like to see it come back to the cloud. Then I want to see a twist of those. So I want to see a crossover of Kijinsen and Tegensen. So it's blue above red, and this must stay green, and Chikuspe and the brown line here must be above price. That would be a long entry. So that's how the traders would be trading ichimoku there. And if I look at the 4 hour, 4 hour is a different picture. Okay, so 4 hour group to the bottom on the oscillator, we're pointing up. Well, not quite, but we are kind of pointing up. And we've had a twist in the cloud. We've broken through price here. We've had a crossover. So this is a long-term long signal. Okay, so my bias is to the long side. The only question is, where do we get in? And you can see how that weekly, let's just put it in here so you can see it. Oh, I don't have a 200 moving average on this chart. Let's just get one in quickly. 200. Okay, there we go. Right. So you can see how that 200 moving average coincides with the top of the cloud on the 4 hour. Okay, so all these things are related. I mean, that's pretty much bottom line. So from a price, from the ichimoku theory, we've come up, we've hit the cloud, we've bounced off the cloud, and now we've bounced off the cloud again. We've had a twist, we've got a crossover, we threw price here. So the theory is there is a long brewing. Okay, and this long should pretty much be a measured move of that. And I just want to check the weekly to see where that comes up to. So that comes up and back into the zone up here. Okay, so that's kind of the theory on the 4 hour at the moment. I don't see it on the lower time frames, so I see a little bit more of a pullback on the lower time frames, but the 4-hour definitely is setting up for a long. And what I don't have on this chart as well as fractals, so let's just put them in. Okay, so we have fractal level here, fractal level here. So ultimately, trading a 4-hour, what I'm looking for is a long entry, and my stop level should be 11,263, or if you're going to trade ichimoku, pretty much on just below Kijinsen over here. Okay, so that's what I mean by why I look at both. Because looking at this, probably a very similar setup. So if we look at the Bull Williams, very similar setup. Yeah, I've broken this fractal here, so I should be sitting long, and I've formed a fractal, so I should have my my stop loss pretty much just below entry. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's kind of my view on this. Is we're looking for longs on the 4-hour, but our lower time frames is a little bit all over the place at the moment. So I'll rather wait for a proper lower time frame signal, and then look for my long entry. A break below this fractal level here, all bets are off, and then you can expect this gap to close, and then we start looking again for the next entry. Okay, anyway, that's it for me. I'm not looking for shorts on this market. It scares me to go short at this level, so I'll rather wait for a better short entry. At this stage, I'm looking for longs. So hope it helps, and I will catch up with you guys later. Cheers for now.